Happy Monday! Here we are today out on my boat. That is a real window actually behind me. Looking forward to getting out on the water one of these days soon and just thinking about the boat. And this boat's 20 years old now, and there's been a lot of people that have learned to ski behind it, and there's been some that didn't learn to ski behind it. And it kind of goes back to a really good quote that says, remove failure as an option. And it's a quote that I have hanging up in my classroom. And, water skiing is kind of like that. You have to really be determined and try it quite a few times. And over the years, the people who have been successful with water skiing behind this boat have not given up very quick. It's taken quite a few times. In fact, last summer my daughter learned how to ski, and she is 9 years old, and she tried several times, and man, she just wasn't making much progress. And it was probably about 15, 16 times, and it just didn't look like she was gonna get it. And boy, she just sat in the water, and she's like, let's try it again. And man, I was really proud of her. And I even told my wife, I was like, man, I don't know if she's going to get up this time. She might need to take a break and maybe, do some more push-ups and strengthen her legs a little bit more. But no, it was about, right after I said that, it was about the next time she got up. And I was like, oh boy, here we go. Because with water skiing, once you get up once, you get a feel for it. And then, you're going to get up. And by the end of the weekend, she could go around the lake like 3 times. And, it was basically getting boring. And so this summer, she set her goals for, jumping the wake or going across the wake at least. And but it's really something important to remember. If you just remove that failure, if you just say, well, I'm not going to fail at this, I'm just going to make this work and keep working at it until you get it, you will get it. Within some limitations. And, you look at some of the really successful people in life, and they call it the 10,000 hour rule. So they say it takes at least 10,000 hours of doing something before you actually get good at it. And a lot of times I'll get students in my room working on a project, and they will tell me they're not good at this. I'm just not good at this. And it really bothers me. I'm like, well, how often have you done this? Like, for example, if they're making a table, they'll be like, I'm just not good at this. I'm like, well, how many tables like this have you made? And they'll look at me and they're like, well, 0. This is my first one. I'm like, exactly. You're probably not going to be good at it the first time. I mean, think about when you rode a bike. You weren't good at riding a bike the first time. It took a couple tries before you could get it, and you really worked at it. And that goes. It's just kind of how it is. Bill Gates, he spent a ton of time. He snuck into a computer lab essentially at a college, and he spent a lot of time coding computers. He had his 10,000 hours in before he was like 20 or something. So that gave him quite an edge, and he had some other connections too, but it really helped him out. You look at the Beatles and different musicians. The Beatles were a really young group, and they had their 10,000 hours in really early as a group too, and they became quite successful. So if you follow successful people, they usually are going to be putting in their time, and it's really important to realize that.